Hi everyone! I'm literally having the best campervan life hack of my life. So I am in the West End of London and I'm staying here for £34 for 3 nights. I'm just excited, and this is in the luxury of my, I know it's messy, my messy campervan. And welcome to my video, which is about staying in the West End of London in your camper van. I wanted to trial this and see how successful I would be at staying a few days in the middle of London. And when I was looking to book something, I was really glad that my van is so small. They don't generally like to have big vans parking in the centre of London. But anyway, let me get to the point. Staying in the West End of London, I realised that I could use a service called Book My Space. So booking a parking space in London means that I can park up my camper van as if I'm just parking to go off on my travels, which I did. But also, because my van is so small, I realised that if I was very inconspicuous, I could just go and enjoy the whole day, use restaurants and cafes, and then last thing at night just sneak into my van and close the curtains, use very dim lights, and just not make a big fuss about being in my van, so that no one really noticed me. And what happened was I was able to stay in the West End for 3 nights for £34. I was really close to everything, and I had facilities all around me, and I was just blown away. I was able to go and get on the underground tube, and there was a hotel nearby, so I was able to go in then and have a glass of wine. In my van, I had I'd purchased things like salads and things to make sandwiches and smoothies, so I just didn't do any cooking. I didn't do anything that would require any fuss. And I also was so grateful that my van is low and small, because otherwise I just wouldn't have been able to do that, because a lot of the parking spaces wouldn't have vehicles over a certain size. So I'm not going to tell you the exact space that I stayed in, but it was really in the centre. The reason I'm not going to tell you is because I just don't want a bombardment of camper vans to go to that same place. But if you look at renting someone's space in London, you can see that providing you are just quiet about what you're doing, you should be able to park in your camper van with a permit, stay in it without causing any fuss, and everything is great. And I also realised that you are quite invisible. The world is so busy and consumed in what it's doing with itself, so people are they just don't see you. And when you're really switched on and alert, you can stay in your van and you can watch the whole world go by and no one really notices you. You really have to be quite loud and stick out for anyone to notice you in London. It's just like so that was exciting as well. I just felt like, what an amazing life hack to be in the centre, using all the wonderful facilities, close to a tube station. I felt safe because where my particular parking space was, there were security cameras. And I got a little bit paranoid about people seeing me from the security cameras, maybe getting into my van and not getting out. So sometimes I got into my van through the back doors, because the back was parked right up against some hedges. So I'd just go in and climb over my bed and get into my van that way. And I'm just over the moon. So £34, 3 nights in London, renting a parking permit space. and just being very, very quiet and not drawing attention to myself. So I would just recommend doing it, because it's not like wild camping. You're not in a place where you're not supposed to be, and you could be in a day van, you could be just doing some work in there. If you fall asleep, how can that be like a major issue? So I just wanted to share that, because that's the first adventure of going right into a big city that I've had so far, and it was a good experience. So if you're not a subscriber, then please subscribe, I would appreciate it. And I'm going to be making some more on my next adventure, so take care. Bye bye.